You can have your sports car. I want my hybrid.
Get that stuff out of here. It's Southwest Bias.
Welcome into Southwest Bias live from Studio K. Don't forget to sign up for the Inner Circle membership on the Circle K app. Download it today. And yeah, you can have your sports car. I'm going to take my hybrid because I don't need things flashy anymore. The last 2 years, the Suns have given us flash and all this glitz and glamour. But yesterday, on display, when Jordan Ott was introduced, it was more workmanlike. And that's what I'm excited for. Because in Jordan Ott's press conference, he showed he was like that Toyota hybrid that is going to just get the job done, get you good gas mileage, and get you where you need to go. I don't need a Ferrari in the garage. I don't need to hear about the trophies you won somewhere else. He was focused on what he can do now and not the past. He's focused on how he can help this team win and how he can help Devin Booker reach new heights like he did with Donovan Mitchell in Cleveland. Jordan Ott came out and showed me what Brian Gregory didn't in his introductory press conference. And look, I understand introductory press conferences don't mean anything in the end. All that's going to matter, like we've talked about, is wins and losses, which is actually something Jordan Ott said in his press conference. But I left that presser yesterday a lot more confident than I left Brian Gregory's introductory press conference. And that's not a knock on Brian Gregory, the person. It just did not inspire a lot of confidence, some of the answers. But Jordan Ott came out and made it very clear that he's a sicko, a valley sicko, a kind of guy that just loves ball. The kind of guy that's just going to go in there and take care of business. And that's what this Suns team has lacked over the last handful of years, is that lunch pail mentality that we're just going to go in and we're going to put in the work. And if we're not as talented as you, we're going to outwork you. And there's something to be said for that. You know, this isn't a super team. This isn't put all our eggs in two baskets and hope it works out. The Suns have shifted their position as to what they want to be. And will it be a championship in year one? Probably not. They may be just as bad as they were, but they're going to be different. And that's what we all asked for. You've got a blue-collar leader. A guy that started from the bottom in the video room and worked his ass off to get where he is. And I like that. I like that mentality. It's a lot closer to the team that went to the finals mentality than what we've seen over the last 2 years. I'm not asking you to believe in him. That's your prerogative. You choose what you want. But I'm saying I'm buying in a little bit more than I was before. Because none of us, again, had ever heard Jordan Ott really talk. The only thing I found online was a press conference from Summer League a couple years ago before I heard him speak yesterday. But he came in and he handled every question. He came in prepared and he came in focused. And he had, I don't know how to exactly describe it, but an edge. It felt like there was a fire underneath what he was talking about. I didn't think about it in the moment, but one of my Twitter followers, I believe his name was Brendan, said, he reminds me of Jonathan Gannon in that opening press conference. And as I thought more about it, he really did. Talking about process and looking at how to build it and how to get the most out of every player on the roster, whether they're the most talented or they're that last guy on a two-way that maybe could help the team in a pinch. That's a mentality that we've seen Jonathan Gannon implement with the Cardinals, and it really felt like Jordan Ott bought into that as well. And I want to take a look at some of the things he said, because I can describe it here, but I feel like when you see it, maybe you'll have a little bit of what I'm feeling as well. The first one, he was asked by an AP reporter about the jokes when it comes to Michigan State University and how he approaches what has been said about that. And this answer got me fired up.
So I'll say it like this. Like, I've earned the right to be here. I've spent 20 years of working as hard as I possibly can to be here in this spot. I've been around great people, great coaches, great players to allow me to grow, put me in tough spots to see if I can get better. So I know I've earned this opportunity. I'm going to work as hard as I can from here on out to prove that I am here for the right reasons and I've earned this opportunity. So that excites me. That excites me going forward.
That answer excites me too, because that was the most professional way to give a middle finger to the entire narrative that he's just here because he spent a cup of coffee up in Michigan wearing green and white. That was, I love that answer. That could not have been answered any better. I deserve to be here. I put in the work. And that's what I hate about what we've seen in the narrative, is that it's discrediting the work a guy put in. Sure, Brian Gregory, you want to question that because he hadn't had time in the NBA, that's fine. But Jordan Ott made it very clear that the MSU jokes don't matter, that he's here to do a job because he's proven every step of the way that he's ready for it. And there was no doubt in that answer about, maybe that wasn't really the case. No, you know that that's what he believes in his heart. And you know that that is how he's ready to come in and work. I deserve to be here, and it's time to put in the work. But I also loved the fact that he said he doesn't care about the noise out there, really. That it's not about, proving anything right or wrong. It's about just doing the job.
Yeah, I'm not into proving people right, changing the doubter's mind. I just don't think like that, to be honest with you. It's what I do on a day-to-day basis, who I want to help. That's important to me. And you do have to be process-oriented. In this business, you have to be process-oriented. There's so many highs and lows to it. Are we getting better? That's what I'm concerned about.
No BS. Just put in the work. Couldn't care less about proving doubters wrong. Couldn't care less about making people who praise me right. That is a mentality that you're going to need if this team is truly retooling and rebuilding for a successful future. And that is the attitude that everybody that comes in here is going to have as well. Is that we're here to do the work and outwork you every night. Jordan Ott is a blue-collar boy, as somebody in the chat said, and our friend Steven on PHNX Suns likes to say as well. I think this is the one time you're going to see this man in a suit, because every other time he's going to have his sleeves rolled up doing the work that it's going to take. He's that hybrid, that dependable that's going to get you where you're going. He doesn't need to be flashy like the last few guys. And this roster is going to reflect that too coming up. But it's work ethic, which is something I think we've all questioned with this team over the last 2 years. Were they putting in the work? Were they putting in the effort? Was the coach even? Was he exemplifying that, especially last year, for this team? Jordan Ott discussed that as well, about what it means to put in that work.
Yeah, so I think it always starts with the work in the video room. To succeed in the video room, you're going to have to work long hours, be available, be there when no one is. I think a part of being in the video room, you have to be curious, to learn, to know that you don't have all the answers. I think I have carried that with me. I definitely think in Cleveland, Kenny's the most curious man in basketball. There's other ways to learn about the game, but also best practices in in the training room, best practices in the weight room. That's what I strive to do, is to be curious and continue to learn. I think my path has taught me to be process oriented. Again, highs and lows, wins and losses. The help of analytics has helped me there. Maybe not quite as bad as you think you are, or maybe not quite as good. The part of analytics has helped me there. Just stay steady, just continue to get better. And then to be consistent. So you can work, but it's hard to consistently work to make yourself better and stand out. And then I think the last piece of my journey that when you sit back and you think about, we're all competitors. It just comes out in different ways. So having that competitive edge that fuels your fire, that, there's going to be people out there. And we want all to get to the mountaintop. And without that fuel, that day-to-day grind of it all, it's really hard to get better and be successful. So when I look over my journey, I'm proud of how it's gone and now where it's going to go. But those things aren't going to leave me. They're always going to be a part of me, and for that, I'm thankful.
He's had the journey. He's had the experiences. He understands what it's going to take to reach that level, and he wants the grind. I'm not sure, last year with Mike Budenholzer, he was prepared for the grind. He took a year off. I'm not sure he was really ready to come back, and at times it showed. But Jordan Ott is hungry and is going to take everything he has and put it towards reaching these goals and helping this team be better. And somebody asked him, well, what about the last few coaches only getting a year? Does that worry you? Guess what? Again, he just tunes out the noise.
No, I think we're all aware what we sign up for when we're an NBA basketball coach. And again, I'm not here to look back what has happened. I'm here right now and focused to move this thing forward. That's my sole energy. It's been a busy couple days, a lot going on, but that's exciting. And I'm focused on moving this group forward from here on out.
And I think that needs to be a lot of our mentality too. The past is exactly where it is, in the past. And there is zero you can do to change the fact that this super team that we all thought we were in for wound up becoming more of a clown car than a sports car. And so be it, right? Because you can have anger about that, but it's not doing any good. And I'm going to admit, maybe I like Jordan Ott because I see a little bit of myself in him. A guy that has to work hard to get where he's going. A guy that may not, and I'll admit it, be the most talented guy in the room always, but he knows he'll outwork you. And there's something to be said for that mentality, that grind it out. And when we looked at the play last year on the court, they didn't grind it out. They gave up when it got hard. You're not going to see a Suns team do that anymore, at least with Jordan Ott at the helm. And that should be reason for excitement for the future rather than still complaining about the past. Because over the next few months, this roster ain't going to look anything like it looked before. But they're going to be consistent in the way they work hard. And I think we're going to see a renewed Devin Booker come the season with that killer mindset that some of us wondered where it had went over the last 2 years. So you can keep your super teams and your sports cars. You can keep your flashy promises and all the talk of how great you think you can be and how great this team could be. I'm going to take my hybrid and the guy that's going to work day in, day out and grind to be better, because that's what Phoenix has been about. That's what a lot of us have been about, and part of why we've loved this Suns team for so long. But maybe that's just my Southwest bias. Let's say hello to the mustache behind the Mac, Shane Diefenbach. How are you, my friend?
Hi.
You're good? Does a bell mean you agree with that? You were at the press conference. What do you make of it all?
It's hard for me to form an opinion now because of how burned I was last year after the Mike Budenholzer press conference.
The last 2 years, really?
Well, the Frank Vogel one didn't impress me as much. the Budenholzer one did, and I was excited for that. And the season could not have gone any worse. So I'm saving my reservations for when the season starts and when the games start. I try not to take into account words and get excited about promises, but he did everything right. This wasn't as bad as the Gregory one. I'll tell you that much.
No, I mean he just told you like it was. And the other difference, remember the last two coaching press conferences, big to do in the arena, signs on the video boards, huge stage and all these things. This was simple. It was in the practice facility. It was very nondescript. It was just come in, answer the questions, take a few more after, and walk out.
Yep.
And that said something to me too. I think that is this guy's style. Like, he made it pretty clear. I'm having dinner with my family tonight. They leave tomorrow morning, and then I'm getting right back to the grind.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like, we're going to celebrate. This is great. No, I got to get back to it.
Yeah.
So
Totally agree.
So that is kind of a look at Jordan Ott and everything that came about in that press conference. You can see the entire press conference as well as the media huddle after on the PHNX Sports YouTube page that you're on right now. Make your own, your own decision on what you're seeing there, and let us know what you think. You can tweet at us. You can leave a comment. We want to hear it, and we're going to address some of those later in the week on our voicemail bag, and we'll tell you how to contact that later in the show. But there is a massive Kevin Durant rumor that includes video footage that I got to tell you about right after this. Look, we love to throw some shade around on this program and on this network, but when you need to throw shade around in your backyard to make things better, you do it with our friends at All Pro Shade Concepts, because they have got everything that you need. I have a giant sliding glass door, I've told you about this, that acts like a magnifying glass in the summer. Well, I got a shade from All Pro Shade Concepts, and it literally has made my home cooler. It is not in just the look. I mean, it's done that as well, but in the temperature in the house this summer, where we're already going to see 110-degree heat this weekend. So if you need to get a shade structure that's going to not only make your backyard look better, but maybe even make your house cooler, head to allproshadeconcepts.com or call 623-204-1476 and get a free estimate today. Tell them Espo sent you, and they'll say, not that guy from those really cheesy ads we did online. Maybe somebody else.
Those ads were great. Those ads were great.
My dog's a good actor. I got to tell you about our friends at Mountain America Credit Union as well. If you're making a big purchase, you know what you need? A checking account. Because nobody takes physical checks anymore. You need that debit card, that tap payment, whatever it is. Mountain America Credit Union has you taken care of, because they're committed to helping their more than 1 million customers, their members, at over 100 branches throughout the West. You're going to want to take care of your needs by signing up with them, and you're going to get 2 times the points on reward credit card purchases through the end of July 31st. You can use that Mountain American rewards card and watch the points pile up. It's perfect for gas, groceries, travel, home projects like that shade, and a bunch of other things that you can think of as well. This promotion is an easy way to stretch your dollar since you earn twice as many rewards. So head to Mountain America Credit Union at macu.com/double. Loans approved on credit. Offer can change or be withdrawn at any time. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply. So Shane, we're getting a lot of questions in the chat about the Shazam jersey behind me. My friend Son's uni tracker made those, and my friend Ogre in the Discord hooked me up with this one, so you can check them out there. I love this thing. A great ode to the great Al McCoy, who is the reason that I am sitting here today, both as an inspiration and as a former coworker. One thing that Alan, if he were still with us, and Suns Nation is talking about, I can't believe I just called it Suns Nation. I hate that. The Suns fans are talking about is the latest report from Shams Charania of ESPN. He came out this morning and said that the Phoenix Suns and Kevin Durant's business partner, Rich Kleiman, are sorting through trade options with interested teams mainly featuring Houston, San Antonio, Minnesota, Miami, and New York. So a lot of the usual suspects we've heard here. He reiterated that this deal will likely get done before the draft. So we are now down to, I believe, 2 weeks from today is the draft. So there is a time crunch to sort through all this and look at it right now. We talked about some of this yesterday and that I think it's the right move for the fan base. I don't know what the right deal is, though. And the one thing that kind of worries me about this is Kevin Durant deserves to have some say about where he's going to head. I don't deny that. And I'm glad he's part of the process where he may not have been part of the process at the trade deadline. But how much a part of the process is he? Because at some point, Brian Gregory, Matt Ishbia, the whole group needs to look at it and say, we've got to do what's best for the Phoenix Suns. So yeah, you may like Minnesota or you may like New York the most, but the offer that they're giving us doesn't match our needs. So you might have to go to option 2 or 3 and be dealt there. And the tricky part is with him only on a 1-year deal and not having a contract extension done, which will have to happen with that new team, it may play a role in that. If Kevin Durant says, well, I won't re-sign with, the Spurs, say, so maybe their offer becomes less. It's a dance and a tightrope that you're going to have to watch, and it's going to be interesting to see. But the Suns have to do what's best for them first and foremost. You show respect to the legend, but you've got to get back what you need to stay competitive now and be a championship contender in the future. You've got to get those draft picks, those young players that are going to keep you good and set you up in the future. But I mentioned before the break that there is a big rumor with photographic and video evidence that's going around there. And it's that the deal to San Antonio is done. And this photo is floating around. This one was from Champ Hoops on Instagram, but you've seen it from multiple accounts on Twitter and Instagram. The caption is, Kevin Durant's Spurs jersey photo shoot has already been leaked. And it's a photo of a locker that says 35 Durant with the Spurs logo, and then a Kevin Durant 35 white Spurs jersey hanging in it. This is an AI. This is a real photo, an actual photo and an actual video that the Spurs shot. But before you go and order your Kevin Durant jersey, before you go get that Spurs merch with Kevin Durant, let me myth bust a little bit for you. And we're going to do this from time to time on the program because there's a lot of disinformation on the internet, a lot of things that spread around Suns Facebook and Twitter and IG, and people start believing it because you know what? It was on X, Y, and Z, right? It's not true. It is real. It's not Photoshopped. It's not AI, but it's not real in the sense that this didn't happen now. This photo and any subsequent video that's surfacing out there was from 2016 when the Spurs were trying to recruit Kevin Durant as a free agent to join the team there. And Coach Pop was one of the people that helped facilitate that. So yeah, even in 2016, the Spurs had interest in Kevin Durant. But before you freak out, it's not actually from now. So there is no reason to freak out about that. I love Killer X saying I hate Kevin Durant. I'm the guy that yesterday said I want Kevin Durant to get another chance at a title, and I know it's not going to happen at Phoenix, but like I said, maybe that's my dad's.
You don't hate Kevin Durant. We just hate his fans.
I mean, I hate Twitter, the Twitter trolls, but that I'm not triggered by that to say anything bad about Kevin Durant himself.
This video is this post is so funny to me because, like, obviously digging up old stuff is hilarious.
But people are buying that this is now.
Of course, people are buying it. But the part that's funny to me was people were actually doing this, like when Durant was on the market, when everyone wanted him in 2016.
Yeah.
Like I can't believe it got to the point where people were recording sales pitches.
Well, I mean, did you ever see the LeBron video,
Oh, yeah.
the New York sales
yeah.
pitch that had the Sopranos in it?
Oh yeah.
Like, this is a big deal. Like, when I was at the Suns, I saw some of these. So originally they would start as like leather-bound books, right? Before, video was the big way that they did it. So like in 2004, when the Suns were going after Kobe and Steve Nash, leather-bound books. I actually have the Kobe Bryant pitch book that they put together for him, and they'd Photoshop him in the jersey. They'd Photoshop him in the Ring of Honor. But then it became videos that they pitched these guys with, where they would show the city and famous people from the city would say things. Potential teammates would say things. It was a whole recruiting pitch. Like, they went in with presentations and videos. One year, the Suns in the mid 2010s did an actual VR experience for, I think it was LeBron James when they were chasing him. And it was a whole VR headset around the valley. What's it like in the arena? Here's our training, because they knew they weren't going to get him to come to Phoenix for the recruitment. So like, here's the next best thing. Granted, I can't imagine LeBron James putting on a VR headset just to look around Phoenix to see what it's like. But they did those kind of things. They put full court presses, and I assume this was a small part of what the Spurs did. But to the people believing it's now, it's not. There's not some conspiracy hiding the fact that Kevin Durant has already been dealt to the Spurs.
Phoenix and a VR headset, probably not the most beautiful and ideal thing, but you can hide the heat.
I mean, they did shoot it in the summer too. It's interesting, right? I think it's these things. People don't see that part of it behind the scenes. I mean, I remember it was Eric Gordon when they recruited him, right? In 2012, I believe it was. They made every employee go stand out in front of the arena. They rolled out a literal orange carpet. And they pulled him up to the corner, and the Legends District board out there, video board, had a giant image that said, Eric Gordon, cornerstone, right? With him photoshopped in a Suns jersey, and he walks through, and we all had to, have the thunder sticks and signs, and he walks through to make him feel special. Well, guess what? We had to do that for Michael Beasley and Goran Dragic. Like, it's a dog and pony show when they try to get these guys, as if a bunch of people that are from the accounting department are going to shift a guy's mindset, right? So again, it's not a recruitment pitch for Kevin Durant now. It's not. They've got the deal done in San Antonio. People are digging up things from the past. So that myth has been busted. We'll continue to do that as well. And there was groveling towards Eric Gordon at the time. Any chats stand out to you? I have not been able to see a lot of them today, but I want to answer anything that came up from our fans today. Ashley, our friend from Australia, says, I refuse to believe Bill Simmons will get anything right. I mean, you throw enough crap at the wall, eventually something will stick, and then you can go back and go, look, I called it. I called it. I love Bill Simmons, but I'm just saying. It's like if I sat here and cut a video for every one of the teams that were rumored, and I said, he's going to the Knicks, I guarantee it. And then I go, I guarantee that Kevin Durant's going to Minnesota, and I guarantee he's going to the Rockets. And then we just cut one of those and go, I was right.
Keep going. So
who else we got? Houston. I guarantee he's going to the Spurs, Kevin Durant. Yep. I guarantee that Kevin Durant has been traded in a 3-team deal to the Houston Rockets. Like, if any of those happen now, we just cut it and we go, Espo's a genius.
Yep, that's going to happen now. We're going to cut that. We're going to use them.
Look, everything's a wrestling promo now. I'll tell you that much. Suns Digest says, Espo, do you like the Spurs package of the rumor of Shohan and Vassell? I don't know. We'll find out. I got to hear some of the other.
I don't
rumors as
want
well.
Jeremy Sohan.
Well, I don't. Devin Vassell doesn't do anything for me either. He's a shooting guard. We got one of those, but maybe you flip him for somebody else, as This Ain't Mike says. One other thing before we get out of here, I want to remind you that you can participate in our voice mailbag episode coming up on Friday. You can text us or call us to leave a voicemail at 1-480-535-0425. That's 480-535-0425. Or leave a question or comment in the comment section here, or tweet us at PHNX_sports or at Espo. And you can also hit that like button while you're here. We'd appreciate it. Big shout out to the mustache behind the Mac, Shane Diefenbach, for putting everything together and keeping me in line as best that he can. Big thank you to you, every single one of you, for watching. For my wife chiming in, thank you, Tracy. Just remember, Jordan Ott's here, whether you like it or not. So you might as well just worry about the future and not the past. Ahoy, hoy!
We all silly like the mayor.